Namaste and good afternoon. Jai Shri Krishna. Whilst we're waiting, I thought I would take a little opportunity to introduce some of our scholars, because we've got such a tight schedule, we want so much to be packed in. So if nobody has any objections, I will just introduce some of the scholars who are here today, and then we can start with the formal process of lighting the diya once our President and Vice President arrive. Many of you may know our Vice President and President already, but for some reason security downstairs have decided they want the pleasure of their company for just a little bit longer, and I'm sure it's not to do with their appearance, but they'll be with us very, very shortly. So firstly, it's my honour and privilege to introduce to you Dr. Nchtuk, who is our senior-most scholar, and is a scholar who I myself have been interacting with and derived a great deal of benefit from over the years. We had to exert quite a degree of pressure and encouragement to have him join us today, but I'm so pleased and grateful to him for having joined us here. So Dr. Nchtuk, most welcome. Now, since today's event is with regard to traditional Vedic and Hindu scholars, by way of introduction, Dr. Ji is a direct disciple of Swami Kalpatri from Varanasi, and for those who are aware of the lineage, then that should be an introduction enough. Swamiji, the Guruji I just referred to, had a very interesting history with the Gandhi Parivar and the political scenario in India some years back. And if you do a search on the internet of Swamiji and Kalpatriji, you will see a great deal of very, very interesting information to do with Gohatya and to do with predictions and all sorts of interesting things. So we are truly blessed to have Dr. Rishiji here. We're also joined by Madhavji, who many of you may know already, and is one of our quite common speakers on the scene. Madhavji was the first person who responded to me when I first moved to the idea of getting a Hindus forum or a scholars board together. And Madhavji has been with me in putting all the pieces of this together since day one. So Madhavji, you're most welcome. Thank you. We're also blessed to have with us today Swami Surya Prabhaji, who is over there and will be speaking a little bit later. Surya Didi, as we call her, she has too many degrees and BScs and BEds and MAs and in Sanskrit and things of that sort. But the real essence which delighted us and was what we were really looking for is that Surya Didi was so moved by the knowledge that she received that it changed the course of her life, and she committed her life and became a renunciate some 17 years ago. And since then has been imbibing knowledge and sharing knowledge. And her speciality is Hinduism and the environmental consciousness which is contained within Hindu teachings. So again, Didi, most welcome. We're also joined, a change of pace and scene, we're also joined today by Dr. Gautam Sen. And Dr. Sen, some of you may know, but Dr. Senji has been moulding and guiding the shapes of economics and economists in this country with the LSE, where he was a teacher and a senior director. He's also been a member of a number of United Nations initiatives, and is a writer and an author, quite a prolific writer and author in terms of the Hindu geopolitics. And we'll be hearing from him later on today. So Gautamji, again, thank you so much and most welcome. We have with us Dr. Jasdev Singhji, who is our guest Sikh scholar today. And he and I have been talking on a number of occasions about many incidents and histories that both the Sikh and the Vedic tradition have got intertwined. And he'll be talking about pluralism in the Vedic understanding of creation. So again, Jasdev, thank you so much. We have with us Dr. Praveen Kumarji, who is a Yogacharya. And Dr. Praveen. It's also my pleasure to welcome you. This is something that, again, we spoke about a long time ago, the Hindu healthcare chaplaincy function which the NCHT does some time ago. And Praveenji has been an ardent supporter and very much a committed believer in what we're trying to achieve with the Board of Scholars. So thank you for that. Moving on to a slightly younger group. One of the main functions of the board is going to be to try and motivate, encourage and inspire youngsters to get more involved in... No, surely not. Please, could I ask everyone to switch their mobile phones off? But we want to inspire and motivate youngsters who are very academically aware and very scholarly in this country to get involved in the Shastra and into the... Okay. Could somebody who knows laptops just switch that off, please, if that's all right? Manoj Kumarji and his Jab Zero Diya Meri Bharat Mein is a very insistent little recording and it's been going for a while. So in the spirit of trying to encourage youngsters to get involved in study and immerse themselves in some of the most ancient scientific knowledge, we did have a very open arms attitude towards connecting with some people of that type. And the first one who connected with us, again, was Guruji. Ghulam Akbana is here with us. And by way of introduction, what impresses most about Guruji's work is that he is under his own impetus has been working to translate many of the Shastras into contemporary English idiom and into concepts. And when we were seeking, we noticed that he's actually been doing an enormous amount of work himself. He's been motivated again to establish the Sanstha, to teach youngsters in a manner that only youngsters can teach. So most welcome, Guruji. Thank you for coming today. Now, when we started to talk about the board, we had an absolute inundation of people wanting to get involved with the board from all over the world. We had scholars from Hawaii, all the way through to Australia, and we are working through a small number of scholars who still we're talking to and who want to very much engage in this whole project. It has received the blessings of people around the globe. In addition to that, we have been the beneficiaries of blessings of many of our sages and saints, and some of them were absolutely delighted that they're here with us today. They've taken the trouble to join us. And as we go through the afternoon's event, we'll be introducing some of the sages and saints to you. One last person who was so motivated when he heard the news of what it was we were doing here has actually taken the trouble of flying all the way from India to join us at the launch of the British Board of Hindu Scholars. And it's my pleasure to introduce you to Colonel Prabhat Pandey, who has a list of accolades which is quite extraordinary, some of which we can talk about and some of which we've been told not to talk about. But one of those which is most relevant is that Colonelji is also a member of the BJP's National Executive, and we're expecting to hear some very, very good news in the very near future about his involvement and the contribution he's now going to make in the new government. And Colonel Pandey will also be speaking with us a little bit later. Bob, your timing is absolutely extraordinary. I was just introducing all of our honourable our members and indeed our guests of honour, and you arrived absolutely on cue, so thank you so much for that. Motherji, can I hand back to you now? Are we all assembled and ready to go?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much, and I hope you all have a good afternoon.